Alright everyone, welcome back. So, today I'm headed to Sydney's other Powerhouse museum. So everyone knows of the big one that's in the city in Ultimo, and everyone's heard of the upcoming one at Parramatta. But if you look just over here, if you've ever been out in Castle Hill on the corner of Showground Road where I am now and just off Windsor Road where I'm turning off, you will find the museum's Discovery Centre. Right, this is Powerhouse Castle Hill. So this opened, I believe, in the it was either the early 2010s or mid 2000s. So it has a large collection of some of their more off-exhibit stuff. They have a lot of sites sprinkled around Sydney with that. Like some sites, I believe, have a couple of the old Luna Park faces. So, which there's been 8 of. So the current one there is number 8. I think they have like 7 and maybe 6 or something. But the one we have here, this is currently the only open one. It is, it houses the large and complex or bulky items storage. So you'll find the Sydney monorail is in here. So I came here for the opening day of their new building, which is the large and complex bulky item storage. So I got to go for a full tour on that. I got to see 2 of Eddie Marbo's shirts, one of which was like his Sunday best, and the other one I can't remember what it was. But if I have the footage for that in landscape, I'll definitely throw it in here at some point. So some things I do know they have on display. There is a totem pole in their main old area. They, I believe, before the main Powerhouse had its Wiggles area, there was briefly a Wiggles display in here. What else is there? There's giant tractors, some trains. Actually, the old, I believe it was Queen Victoria's train or something, that used to be in the main big area of the Ultimo Powerhouse. A few years ago, I actually sat there behind this thing, coming down James Roos onto Great Western, through that 90s area, the 90 area, straight down Windsor Road here. I followed that thing basically to my house because they were transferring it from Ultimo, which had just closed, through to this new one. So I know that's being held here. I haven't been here since before that. Yeah, so a couple of things to keep in mind with today's video is, well, one main thing is when they built this, especially the new area, nothing is off limits. That was the opening line of the speech given by the curator for the building when describing the new area. Nothing is considered off limits. That, and if you've seen last year's Lego Masters promo with the whole space theme and that silver building, this is going to look pretty familiar because they filmed it here. But yeah, let's go check this out, and I'm gonna go around the block and find some parking. Alright, so another thing to keep in mind is this place has 2 parking spots. So I prefer the old one at the top of the hill that takes you into the older building first, and then you can go into the new building. So I'm going to go and check that out now. So I'm on Windsor Road now. I'm about to turn in here. Is it this one? It's a public entry. Yep. Yep. And then if there's no parking here, you can go round the back where there's also the TAFE parking, and you're definitely going to find it there because it's more run-of-the-mill parking. So let's see, these are small lines. Alright, let's do this. Also, I forgot to mention, but you probably saw it on all of the signs coming in this place. From 10 till 4 every weekend, this place is open. The big item storage that used to be, I think it was like once a month or so, but now it's every weekend as well. So I'm going the main entrance, but you can see here, so that's one storage facility. There was another behind, there's a white roof over behind there, there's here as well. So this one building here is the initial main bit. You do poke around into, I think you can see building up there, before you walk across the way into the big one. So this is the main area of that room. You can see the totem pole in the background there. And so I mentioned on the way in that I was stuck behind one of the trains. I just asked the clerk which one it was, and she told me, well, have both of them here. So yeah, that was a shock to walk in and find just this mega fauna of a thing down here. I also have these crates littered around. Now, they all offer glimpses into different things. So this one's right up my alley, considering this whole channel is just historical Sydney. There's a glass machine ashtray, maybe? Commemorative dish. Sydney Harbour Bridge opening, glass crown crystal, Waterloo, Sydney, 1932. It's crazy. Official program from the opening. You'll also notice that there's numbers on all of the places here. So this is the chair collection. Can't remember much of the story behind it, but it's a lot of different artsy chairs and stuff. So this is a paper mache silkworm model with its head top off thing there. So the theme of this room at the moment is paper. It used to be kind of backyard Sydney, but all these old typewriters. Try the zoom working. That red one is really nice. That disc one is cool. That was like a rotary phone. Oh wow. That's an interesting one. If anyone knows anything about this one, feel free to let me know. Okay, so that giant blurb, that is a Braille writer. So Braille uses a series of 6 dots. And so there is 6 levers there, and it's just hitting combinations of that. Jar from 1926. Blue one's 1950 and 1925, and that one that looks like it was from 2004. Now you can see it's slowly coming into view, but number 2, you'll find a couple of engines. This is an aircraft engine, Rolls-Royce Griffin 74 from England, 1946. This is an armor plate test sample. So, 1879. And an armor piercing shell from the 1870s. Small printing press, big printing press. Plate and press. This was for making Christmas crackers or bonbons. Those things that give you the crowns over Christmas. From 1937 to 1940. If you can see that. That's cool. Looks like this is for making your mother-in-law's car. Cabinet sewing machine. I've always loved how they've recessed everything in and hidden it on these. Chocolate wrapping machine. 1949. It's a kangaroo carved form from Beanwood, 1996. Now it's pretty well known and established that the hardest part of coming to any museum is when you find something you had growing up in one. I first had this at the Ultimo Powerhouse a few years ago when I saw my little robot dog Poochie in there. But right now, it's an iPod Nano right there. Sewing box from 1890, 1870. That's cool. Disc music box, monopole. That's cool. Some old Meccano style sets. So what's cool about these is they have effectively working engines in them. So this is a steam loco, but you can see right, where's my finger? There it is, right there, cable. So if you read the thing below it, this is a steam loco, 6-volt, water barrel and everything. I've watched someone actually make this into a proper steam powered thing. And he took it to film a train show a while ago. This electromagnet fan, like old Meccano, was something different. It got overshadowed by Connect, but like just some of the stuff people would come out with was something else. Rapiers. And infantry officer swords. So, top one is France, middle one is England, and then very obviously this is Spain. This is called a rotary bundle. I have no idea what it does, but it looks cool. I'm about to walk into number 3. So last time I was in here before that other area opened, this was when they had their Mars rover school holiday program and stuff. So there was old Holden here with a caravan and stuff, amongst other things. Obviously they've had to move it so that they can fit these in. My train nerd, my megafauna nerd, and my autism are all competing for majority of the brain cells right now. Like the absolute tolerances they had to go through to fit these things in here. Everything's a big stick away from each other. All those things upstairs, the cabinets used to be on that back wall. I'm getting some good reasons to buy a wide angle lens right now. This is one of Melbourne's old cable trains. You can see in the middle. Very much like a scenic railway almost. Train car, and then maker, type O. Bikes and race cars. So we have some typewriter stuff here. Typewriter is one of my favourite non-Tchaikovsky orchestral pieces. So I'm going to play that for my dog and make myself feel good. That is so much easier said than done. Yeah, here's a model of curiosity. This is one of the other trains. I believe this was the one in the foyer. And the other was the Queen's one out the back with the spaceships. Couple more motors here. Even an aircraft front tire, I believe. And there's that totem pole. Canada in 1988. It was gifted to the Australian Museum by the Canadian government at Expo 88. Cool. FPV engine. Lighthouse, I believe. Spacecraft model. And I think that one's a silo painting. Sky Garden Retail Centre. Sky Garden Artwork. Okay. It was donated to the museum when Sky Garden was demolished for the Westfield Sydney Centre. Now back to the megafauna. Glider up top. So that tractor up the back has always kind of been unable to get to, but like they really can't get to it. So every museum always has its species room. That's what, oh, so this big one's a marine engine. Anyway, yeah, it's species room. That's what number 4 is. What's next? There's a bucket. Underneath a lot of the machinery, just in case oil drips. Something. Where's the bucket? We've already got one right there. So I really like how this is set up like back rooms. We've got an ostrich there. Some plate coral. A heron or something? Ibis adjacent. Long-tailed tuna. Saber-tooth. So this is a male ostrich. You can tell because it's black and white, male, female can mostly brown. Plus it's bloody orange. Some pheasants. Some pheasants. Now it wouldn't be me if I didn't find the cassowary. So this is the dwarf cassowary. So one everyone's mostly known for and I'm known for is the southern cassowary. This is the much smaller version of that. These are echolocus parrots. Red is female and green is male. Shells. So this is the inside of the Nautilus shell that I think has been done at like artwork. But there we are. So if you see that line just down there, so each kind of line on the outside. Where's my finger? There it is. So like those. They are basically chambers that the Nautilus will grow into with its shell as it gets bigger. That's a Here's growth diagrams in here. Gigantosaurus skull. And a horned turtle. Pliocene, 30,000 years old, Lord Howe Island. But wait, there's more. So there's a cafe up here too. Cafe prices are actually pretty good. So if you go out through the cafe doors, so Lego Masters, side of this building. If you come out, go down through here, you're going to find some magic. The large and complex item storage. Main thing of note here, right in the middle there, Sydney monorail. But first up, more on paper. So much room for activities. So about 18 or 19. I love fairy tales. Remember the 3 story
This idea.
These are nightmare fuel. Sorry, ventriloquist dummies. This is the Dick Smith's helicopter, which sat above the train in the main foyer at Ultimo. I wonder it looks a little more crowded in here. Had to try and cram everything that was on display into the other. So down the back on the other side of that brick wall, they have a large cyclorama with a rotating base that they're able to load everything in here onto that so that they can take pictures and catalogue it for the website. So there used to be a sign for this one, but I believe it was taken apart, transported, rebuilt, flown for something. I was lucky enough to go on this in one of its final days, if not the final day of operation. One of the earliest electric cars. And this was from '59. It's one of the original Hyundai fuel cell cars. We've got the fuel cell up the back there. So that caravan that I was trying to work out where it went ends up in here. Old fire engines, giant motor of some sort. I think that was the rail bus, or the rail bus is behind it. Found the rail bus. So normal bus, then it could go on rails thanks to the two prongs up there which would just kind of unlatch and flick up. I'm guessing that was for Mardi Gras. Wings. Another shoe. Okay, so it turns out it was for the Olympic Games closing ceremony. And it was Priscilla. Yeah, it featured alongside the bus Priscilla to culminate the parade of icons. This is cool and huge. It's a parade float for something. So it was a reconciliation float for the Centenary of Federation in 1st of January 2001. Because Australia had all its states linked and basically properly became a country on the 1st of January 1901. It has an interesting story. Possibly made in Australia, 1860, used originally by Tooth's Brewery for delivering barrel beer, converted into a milk float for dairy farmers displayed at the Royal Agricultural Show Sydney before 1960. So that would mean it was used for the original type of Sydney Royal Easter Show, which will be happening in a few months. Some train signal gears, monowheel from 2019. The thing I just found out about is that all of the planes and stuff here sit off their wheels. It's cool. So I just did a bit of a collection tour around here. I'm going to go do another one with the trains, but Sydney monorail here. So this place got two of the cars, and apparently Google Sydney headquarters got another one which they currently use for a meeting room. But another thing that they pulled from Ultimo is, if you've gone in there and you remember the giant steam engine thing behind the train, that was called the Bolton Watt. These are two of the arms, and then they've got the giant wheel down the back there. That's so there. that's also from it. And then that rocket engine in the middle there, that is going to, that also came from there, so that was in their space area, and it is going to be a centerpiece of the
Have you seen inside? The doors
Parramatta one when it opens, so that's going to go more science, and Ultimo's going to go more fashion, so they've like swapped the original plans over. Right, so there's only the 2 rooms open in that area there, so if I can find some good stuff from the opening day here, I'll throw them in, but otherwise let's go check out number 5.
But this is really important because this is a shirt that Eddie Marbo wore everywhere. So if you ever see pictures of Eddie Marbo, he's wearing this shirt most of the time. And you can see it's actually like sun damaged, and that's basically because he was wearing it around Moore Island, trying to talk to the local mob, trying to build his case. So that's that shirt. And this shirt here was actually made by his wife, Benita Marbo. She has a matching dress to go along with it, and that's his Sunday best shirt. So he'd wear that on Sundays when he was going to church, or he was meeting in-laws. So.
I'll see you outside. Where do you want to meet?
So this is where we photographed a lot of our objects, and it goes onto our website and it does all of that. So as you can see, you know, we've got the card there, and using the turntable, it's easy to position it to an angle that we want. So yeah, so anything heavy or anything big, it's good to have it here, so we can rotate it. So otherwise it'll go on display like everything else. But this is just a photographic studio where we do a lot of our photography of our points. Yeah.
Even the smaller ones?
Sorry?
Do you do the smaller ones then?
Yeah, the smaller ones we do on a table, and that's in another.
Before I go into 5, here is that tractor that I can't really get close to. I think I have once, but largely that area is blocked off. Not sure if you can see it either, but the tolerances in this place, have a look at the fan to that roof. Absolute bee's dick away from everything. What I did just notice, there are the tracks on the floor for each of these so that they can get them in. Okay, not number 5, number 6. This one is very architecture heavy. So here, I know they used to have models of all Sydney. So this is a model of where we are now.
We'll go back through here, mate.
Building E. One in that back corner there. The dish right. Have a look at the art on that piano. So nice. The detail on this thing is crazy. And right behind it, some more chairs for the Swedish audiences. Double. And also a double. Here we go, so this is how the Royal Australian Mint has been transformed over the years. So this is 1816 when it was the South Wing of the Rum Hospital. So now everything. And then in the 50s they threw some more offices and stuff behind it. Here's a model of Hyde Park Barracks. Here's a model of 2 Bond Street, which was unbuilt. Just now the mantra. Just found out that this chair here is paper mache. Alright, so back in the car now. So I did 2 of their collection tours. So they run for about half an hour. Each one runs every 2 hours. So like I think it's 11 and 1 p.m. for the complex and bulky storage, and then 12 and 2 for Hall E, which is currently just handmade stuff. So if you like your big items, go for that one. If you like more paper mache and all that, that second one's definitely more for you. So yeah, they're free. Entry to this is free. Everything's free. Yeah, it's only kind of bus accessible unless you feel like walking from Hill Showground, which isn't too far away now anyway. But yeah, so I'm gonna head home. Yeah, that's the best I got. You can book tours with this place as well. Best check the website for that, because I can't really remember much about how you would go about doing that though. But yeah, so hopefully I've found some B-roll that I've shoved in here. I'm going to leave you with the 10-second tour thing that I did, if I can find that without some royalty music that'll get this, copyright struck. But yeah, other than that, I'll hopefully catch you next time when, skies aren't terrible. And don't forget to touch some native grass.
Nothing is back of house.